Conversion therapy. It's a topic that's come up a lot in this past election and in recent years.
Conversion therapy for young LGBT individuals.
Support for conversion therapy.
Train away the gay.
So-called conversion therapy.
It harms so many of our children.
Emotional torture against our most innocent citizens, our children.
But what is it really? To answer this question, we turn to some experts.
Conversion therapy attempts to change the sexual orientation of a person who is gay, lesbian, or bisexual.
There are three aspects to conversion therapy. Some kind of a group therapy thing. There's usually always some kind of religious backing behind it. If you are a Christian, then you are no longer gay because the two are incompatible, so therefore you're ex-gay. And the third piece of that is reparative therapy, which takes a more psychological approach to conversion therapy.
It's more damaging than it is helpful.
In fact, according to the American Psychological Association, sexual orientation was unlikely to change due to sexual orientation change efforts, and the National Association of Social Workers states that conversion therapies cannot and will not change sexual orientation. Sexual orientation change efforts have been around since the 1800s. First Do No Harm, California's LGBTQ population report, reads that early and more extreme attempts to change gay men's sexualities included electroshock, lobotomies, and while these techniques aren't in use by modern practitioners, conversion therapy and its roots are still harmful.
There are well-documented cases of psychological and sometimes physical harm that come to young people who are subjected to it.
In a really fundamental way, it's damaging to the psychology of the individual youth. It's damaging to their sense of self, their identity, whether it be their sexual orientation or their gender identity. Trying to force someone to be something that they're not can be incredibly damaging to their development as an individual, to their relationships with others, and can really put additional stresses on their life that will cause harm across the spectrum of their development.
Coming out of conversion therapy, I didn't realize how much damage had been done, where there is always with me a sense of shame. I always feel this sense that I haven't lived up to who I'm supposed to be, or no matter how many degrees I've earned or how many books I write, that I've never attained quite enough. I live with that every day. You have to understand from the point that they're coming from, as typically religious parents, again, they believe that they're doing what is right, and so you have this battle between their religious freedom versus this kid's just personal freedom. So from a kid's standpoint, they're putting that kid at an incredible risk just emotionally. So we find people who are unhappier, we find people that will attempt suicide more often, we find people who will get more addicted to drugs or alcohol, and we find them to participate in more at-risk behaviors because of what they experience when they go through conversion therapy.
While these therapies have dangers of their own, their existence speaks to a larger problem concerning the safety and acceptance of LGBT youth, or rather, the lack of that safety and acceptance, which has serious consequences.
Some of them have really supportive families that will love them and support them, whoever they are. And others really face a lot of stern rejection from their family members. It could be anybody, really, who treats them well or treats them poorly.
According to the Human Rights Campaign, highly rejected LGBT youth were more likely to experience depression, attempt suicide, use illegal drugs, and be at risk for HIV and STDs, when compared to those who experienced little to no rejection. Rejected youth need protection and acceptance. Of course, we as individuals cannot change every environment, every mind. But 45% of LGBT youth feels their state government isn't accepting of them, and 34% feel the same way about their local government, both governments meant to protect them and their rights. Some states, of course, have recognized the harm of conversion therapy and of supporting it. Conversion therapy is illegal in California, Oregon, Illinois, New Jersey, Vermont, and our capital, Washington, D.C. But 5 states out of 50 is not enough. So we ask you, our Congress and new president, to take on the urgent issue of conversion therapy and ban this harmful practice in 2017. No minor should feel left behind or forgotten because of who or how they love.